Sådär då, då kör vi! What's up everyone and welcome to my new FAQ video! Yeah! First of all, I just want to say welcome, you new subscribers to my channel. I'm Englund. I play in the bands The Haunted and Feared. This is not your regular metal dude guitar playing channel. This is a channel with a lot of serious content that is meant to inspire you and teach you the ways of... that's bullshit. So thank you so much for subscribing. Let's do the first question now, shall we? What is your opinion when it comes to releasing music? Does it work better for you when you have an album's worth of material to give to fans, or have you thought about releasing songs one by one as you complete them? Wasn't me. I don't play live, so releasing songs regularly may be the only way to grow my social media numbers. Any advice? Something that I do tell bands that are, you know, not famous or not recognized online when they're talking about, you know, releasing an album, and you know, they've been working on an album and they want to know how to release it to gain the most recognition and blah blah blah. My absolute tip to you is to not release an album, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, you don't have an audience. If you release an album, you're basically wasting that album. It doesn't make any sense. If you have a full album of songs, I would definitely recommend releasing one song at a time, you know, just to keep a momentum going and just, you know, build the audience first, then release an album. And I'm not even sure if the album is a good format today. I mean, it's not. That is what the music industry has become. That's just how it is. Okay, good luck, buddy. What do you do when your balls itch while you're on stage? I just scratch away the itch. No shame. What are the differences between your Jackson Signature Solar and your Solar guitar line? Jackson Signature Solar. No difference whatsoever. Next FAQ. Hi Ola, I'm struggling to get my band's YouTube channel subscribe numbers up. Any tips on how I can raise my band's profile? Thank you. Thank you. I think what you need to do to get some kind of recognition quick today is do something new and original. Like music-wise, great, but definitely like the approach of making videos. It should be original and just, you know, because nowadays YouTube is so saturated with videos and channels, and it's basically impossible to get through that first barrier before your channel starts to grow. So yeah, do something original, okay? Love you, but absolutely can't stand the answer that this is an entertainment channel. If you don't feel strongly about politics or religion, that is one thing. But if you do feel strongly about the subject, I think it's really lame to keep that to yourself, to try to preserve the views that you're getting from people that may disagree with you. I understand why, but just think it's pretty lame when people do that. The world right now needs people of influence to speak up and out about so many issues. The reason why I'm not talking about politics or religion is it's not about preserving an audience. I just want everyone around the world to be able to watch my videos without the influence of politics or religion. The world already has a bunch of people that influence and speak about religion and politics. Why do I have to do that? It's not my thing to do. I mean, that's not what I do. That's not why I'm here. And I guess it's not the reason why you follow me. You know, I'm here to bring a death metal to you guys. That's my main objective here. And if you think I'm lame, just remember, I can do this. Hola, hola, where do you get the backing tracks for your guitar covers? You make them or download them from somewhere? Thanks for being so awesome. I try to make my own backing tracks, and what I do is that sometimes I download a MIDI file from online, because usually they are like, you know, karaoke MIDI files out there. I just take that MIDI file and just arrange, you know, put real drums on there. Maybe I re-record the bass myself and the guitars and just make it sound like my own. And yeah, that's what I do. Dual rectifier or 6505. For me, this is a very easy choice. Definitely the dual rectifier. The dual rectifier is the first real tube amplifier that I bought when I was starting to play guitar. And I had a blackface dual rectifier, and it was super awesome. And I had no idea how to dial it in at the time. Yeah, I had no idea what to do with that amplifier, but it sounded good. I had a Korg X30 multi-effect that I plugged in into the effects loop of the dual rectifier because I couldn't make the regular distortion sound good. I was using passive pickups, you know, it didn't sound good. So I was really happy. I was using this Korg X30 multi-effect into my dual rectifier. It's the most useless setup ever, having this very cheap Korg pedal into a very expensive tube amplifier. But then later, I discovered how to really use the dual rectifier. And the dual rectifier is still one of my favorite amplifiers. It's just something about the sound that really appeals to me. Hi Ola, how did you like Sepultura back in the days? Love your channel. I absolutely loved Sepultura, and my entryway into Sepultura was the album Chaos AD. I remember when I was on a ski trip in Austria, and we had a day off, I went and bought Beneath the Remains, and like, holy shit, this is an awesome album. And then I bought Arise, and like, holy shit, this is an awesome album. And yeah, those two albums, like Arise and Beneath the Remains, two of the best death metal albums out there. I love those albums, they're awesome. I know a lot of people did not like Roots, but I enjoyed Roots. I thought it was a good album. And yeah, and after that, I haven't really paid attention to Sepultura. I listened to the latest album. It's, yeah, it's really good actually. So yeah, I should definitely, you know, check out the more recent albums. Ola Ola, always see you with your Hesu 2x12. Do you have a Randall cabinet to pair with your signature head? Do you use that live or just use the Hesu? The Hesu cabinet that I have here is basically just for home use because I wanted a small cabinet to fit in my room. I do have Randall cabs in our rehearsal space out of town that if we tour around the area, I bring my Randall cabinet. And there is a Randall Satan cabinet that is X-shaped V30 and T75 speaker combo in it. But those aren't too common. I'm just, you know, I think there's only a couple out there, to be honest. I don't even have one. Where's mine? Huh? I didn't get one. Hey, greetings from Moscow, Russia. Have you ever been in our country? What do you think about it? I've never been to Russia, so I have no idea how the people are there or how it is there. I bet it's super beautiful, but what I've seen from being active on my VK account is that Russians have a really awesome sense of humor, and I like that. So I think when I go to Russia, I'll get along just fine. They know sarcasm. I love sarcasm. My whole life is sarcasm. My life is a joke. Sarcasm! Why don't you buy a PewDiePie chair? Because I have this. I can do the same here. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Okay, I cannot do that. Oh, I can! Holy shit, I didn't know! Oh! I never noticed this lever before. Okay, let's do this again. But can you do this? I can. Kommer du göra en FAQ på svenska? Jag vet inte. Kanske. Kanske. Jag får fundera lite på saken. Men jag tror att jag får se. Det blir en jävla massa jobb att hålla på och översätta och grejer. Och skriva text. Och jag orkar inte. Jag orkar verkligen inte. I like being fucked by you every Sunday. Good. Hey Ola, do you ever discard a riff that otherwise could have sounded great in a full mix because it didn't sound fantastic on its own? I have a hard time composing songs because of this, and I feel I might be overly critical. Got any advice? Yeah, it's kind of hard to know if a riff is wordy or not just by hearing it being played. I mean, a riff on its own can sound really cool, and a really dull riff can become really cool if it has a certain drum pattern over it. That's when you hear, when you have drums all over it, that's when you hear if it's a what's wrong with my You know, some riffs can be really dull and boring until you put drums on them. So I recommend if you have a riff, try to write drums for it at the same time And it's a lot easier to judge if a riff is good or not to have the drums accompany the riff. So try that, okay? Hej Ola, can you speak Norwegian? Jag kan snacka norsk. Min norsk är väldigt bra. Jag kan många fina ord som tallefjant, guleböj, slurpeslang, pansertax. Ha det! Hi Ola, why do you have dual humbuckers on your Solar guitars but not single coil pickups? Alright, so the Solar guitar has 2 humbuckers in it, right? And you know, humbuckers is what I prefer for a guitar. You can still split these humbuckers using either the 5-way lever switch, like this. Then you have a split humbucker, which is basically a single coil. So you're getting the single coil sound. So here you have the humbucker sound. And here you have it split. So you can still get that single coil sound with 2 humbuckers. So there you go. Talk dirty to me, but in Spanish. Tengo una pescada en el culo. Hey Ola, further to what you said about crowds, what are you feeling about people that record gigs with their phones? Greetings from England. I think it's perfectly fine that people record, you know, snippets of a live show, because those people are kind of like important because they spread the word, they upload to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and you know, basically spreads the word about your band. It's not, you know, it's not very sexy for me to watch a guy who's up with his phone all the time from stage, but you know, it's okay. I totally understand why. Sometimes I always... What's up with me and burping today? Sometimes I record small snippets of a live show as well, when I'm, you know, out to a show or whatever. Hi Ola, I do not know if you answered this before, but do you use string dampeners? Don't think I've ever seen you using one. Like, generally I do not use string dampeners, but for say I want to like record a guitar solo and, you know, saving a bunch of time, I can use one of these. These are the, oh, I forgot the brand name. Is it a V or is it an A? I think it's a V. Oh, that's embarrassing. Anyway, you can put them on like this, and you know, for recording, it just, you know, it's a lot easier to record a solo. You don't get the other string noises and stuff like that. And you know, you can tell me like, yeah, but you should practice, you know, to mute the other strings while playing solo, because otherwise you're not a professional. Well, fuck you, buddy. You know, I want to save time, I want to be efficient. I'm using these when I'm recording solos sometimes, okay? Oh, that was the last question. Okay, before I leave, I just want to say, go to Solar Facebook page and like the page. We have a bunch of new models coming soon. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that. And dudes, again, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel and push the notification bell up there as well, because otherwise you won't see when I upload a video. It sucks. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Oh, I forgot. This is for you guys that are still here watching this video, because it's probably only 30% of the people that started watching this video are still here in the end. But you know what? You're liking this shirt? You like this shirt, do ya? Do you like it? I like it a lot. I like He-Man. He-Man's like, you know, I played with those toys when I was a kid. And you know, I got this t-shirt, but you know what? I got 2. Oh, they sent 2. I don't know why. So, rather than sending it back, I would figure I would give this away. If you ask me a really, really good question, like not a poo one, you know, if you have a really, really awesome question that I can use in the next FAQ video, I'll send you this t-shirt. It's an XL. It's the same as this one. Then we can be t-shirt buddies. How about that? Okay? So yeah, in the comment section, start your comment with a minus, okay? Then I know that you've been watching the whole video, okay? That's our little secret, okay? So don't tell anyone. And then you ask the question, and it should be a really good question. And if it's super awesome, you're getting this, okay? Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.